Hi and welcome. In this short video I'll try to explain to you how this Gridview is working. This is an advanced Gridview with some extra features which can be seen here. If you click edit, there is a number of combo boxes or drop down lists, and there's a check mark and some normal edit boxes, and then there's a few columns here which is read only. And then you have an ability to click an add button here. But let me first explain a little more the underlying data structure. Okay, this application is for entering test data on a number of web pages. So on each web page there is a table to hold the application name and the URL. And for each URL there can be an infinite number of tests. And for each test we want to enter what browser was it running on, and so these boxes are primarily just lists of values that you can enter in here in the test. Okay, let me go back to the browser. So these are the operating systems in that list. These are the browsers, web browsers, and these are different versions of .NET framework in Mono. For each application there's gonna be many tests, maybe 50 or several hundred tests, so we don't want to have this combined hundreds of applications times hundreds of tests. It's just gonna be impossible to get an overview. So this row actually accumulates all tests for this application. Currently there has been 3 tests, and we can click on the details and see all the 3 tests that have been carried out. Some were on Windows XP, some were on Windows 7, and one was on Chrome OS. So really what I want to talk about is this Gridview here, but now I've given you an overview of the application. So for this Gridview, it always shows the latest test that was carried out on that application. And you can delete the latest one. Then there are only 2 tests left, or you can edit. And if you edit, you can either edit the latest tests or you can add a new one. So let me just come up with a crazy one. Let's say that this one is running on Android. The browser is not here. Let's say it runs on Opera, and the .NET framework is this one. I do not have administrative rights. Let me just put that like that. Quality, maybe that is 5, and message, some dummy test. Alright, and then I can click add, and then you see that extra that new row is added to the table. So now you can see that this new test that I just entered is added to this table. Okay, so let's concentrate on how this is implemented with these additional columns here and with the drop-down lists. So let's go over to Visual Studio. Okay, so basically, basically you start out with the Gridview like you would in any other application or web application that you're going to design. Oops. There it is. And then you set up the data source. Instead of using select parameters, this is slow. I've used store procedures. So you click next, and here you're able to enter the store procedures, and I've just used 4 different store procedures, and that's basically it. And then for the Gridview, I went into the column editor, and I've set up I don't know why there's two here. Anyway, here you can see all the columns, and those are here. I did read only equal to false, or read only equal to true, of course, this one and that one. And then for the OS name, the browser name, and the framework, I click on the link that is usually here that generates a template for those. And then the last ones here, this is a checkbox, but that's generated automatically. Up here, I don't know why there are two, but anyways, so I just again click generate template. Let's go into the template editor, and then you can see my templates. Okay, can I move this over? No, I can't. Okay, so for the first for the column 0, oh yeah, I have a hidden column, that's why. Okay. Okay, for column 0 in item mode, I show the edit, the delete, and the details, and I simply just added another one here, the details button. And if you double click on that one, you can see that the only thing I do is redirect, response redirect to another page where I have this other data grid showing, but then I need to add the app ID, which I find from this. I'll come back to this later. So I find the value from basically from this row that I've clicked in. But let me go back. So I just added that extra one there, and then the same in the edit mode. I also added the add button, simply just a link button that I added to text. Let's go into source mode. You can see here how it looks. So here's a standard button that you have, the update button, and then there's the add button that I created, and then there's a standard cancel button here, which is created by the Visual Studio. I've added some extra little detail here that the update button, or the update button should only be enabled if there are rows beneath. Show here that there are no rows. There's no test for this application yet, so delete and update button are disabled. Okay, so that's how I add the buttons, and let me show you how I add let me show you how I add the combo boxes. Basically, for the combo box, when it's just showing the output here, it just uses a label, and that's the basic thing that is generated by Visual Studio. But when you're in edit mode, here, edit mode, I've removed the text box that is usually here, and then I've added a combo box. And for that combo box, I go in and I create a data source. So, and this is just a simple select. I select all from that table with the operating system types, both the ID column and the name, and then oops, there it is. And then here I configure that it should display this name, and it should use this ID for binding to the table of the main data grid. Okay, and so of course I do the same for the next ones, for the browser and for the framework. It's the same thing I do. So let's look at how it looks in code.